Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. We talk about little else than the 2023 election in this particular period, and today is not going to be any different. Now, looking at, we've done this before for a different region, but we want to look at the 2023 general elections and putting the Southwest in focus, what it is going to take for all of the candidates that will be vying, especially for the main office, the big office, the number one office, that of the presidency. So what is it that they are going to be confronted with, all those contestants, be it Obi, be it Atiku, be it Tinubu, or whoever else? What are the things that they need to bear in mind as a political strategy in terms of getting the votes of the Southwest? Now, someone to help me with that this morning, with that conversation, and indeed your good selves out there, what would TM be without you, is I guess the Senator Adeseye Ogunlewe, former Minister of Works. He's a lawyer, and he was elected a senator on the platform of AD, Action Alliance for Democracy, in 1999 in the Lagos East constituency, before he defected to PDP and became Minister of Works between 2003 and 2006. Needless to say, Senator Adeseye Ogunlewe is well-versed in politics, especially that of the Southwest. Very welcome, sir.
It's my pleasure.
And a fine morning to you.
Good morning to everybody.
Indeed.
Good morning, viewers.
Indeed. It's possible that we might be joined by another guest, but in the meantime, we'll be looking at it. Now, take the candidate of APC, for instance, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Maybe one of the formations, political formations, maybe is it cultural, but no, political and cultural formations is Afenifere in Lagos. Well, Afenifere also has something called Afenifere Renewal Group. But let me just ask you, since it has been said, it's out there in the polity that Afenifere and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu might not necessarily be seeing eye to eye, whereas he might initially have been a part of them. Something happened along the line, and the question right now is that are they in sync now? So let me ask you, to what extent do you think Afenifere is going to have an effect on the campaign of Tinubu in the Southwest?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Well, the Afenifere phenomena has dwindled very drastically, unlike what we had pre-1999 election. You know, the personality that were involved in Afenifere struggle, which is an offshoot of Awolowo's, dynasty, was Papa Adeseye, Papa Jasin, Bola Ige, Olaniwun Ajayi, Adebanjo, Fasunroti. Those were the...
These are giant names in Yoruba politics.
Yes.
Southwest.
At that time.
At that time, okay.
They could leverage on the, popularity and performance of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And they were very, very relevant at that time because they had Awolowo's, project to claim as part of Yoruba development of Yoruba as a people. And if you talk about free education, free health services, full employment, industrial, development, creation of industrial estates all over the Southwest, health services, university, cocoa house, they had something to sell at that time, and it was very, very, lucrative to sell. Thereafter, it shifted to the struggle for actualization of June 12. So they were also part of that struggle.
As Asiwaju
was part.
Oh, it was also part.
He joined them at that period of that struggle. And one could even say he was a very, financier of all of them. And they respected him because he was very vibrant and very, very, useful for that, movement. But thereafter, when they now formed AD, which was a child of circumstance, AD shouldn't have come in at all because they were part of the G38. That is, somebody like Bolaige was in the forefront. But because probably and late Ekweme was there too, he didn't see the possibility of him being the candidate of that political party. So we moved to AMPP, we moved to AD. By the time we got to AD, we were so small and restricted to the Southwest, to the extent that it was magnanimous of them to register AD. Because if we are talking about national spread, it wouldn't have happened. So, but now, maybe the power and strength of Ferry has dwindled drastically to the extent that one may not be too, because people that are going to vote now cannot remember all those things.
Cannot relate to the Afenifere era.
Yes, as a symbol anymore. But we have now reverted to traditional rulers. I'm talking about Southwest politics. Traditional rulers have taken over that responsibility on behalf of their respective community. So if you talk about Ogun State, you know the configuration of the traditional rulers there. They are very important. If you go to...
Even though they are not, technically speaking, supposed to be involved in partisan politics.
But they know the advantage of participating underground. To bring development to their people. Because they are not there as figurehead. At the end of the day, the people will ask him, okay, where is the prosperity that a traditional ruler brings to this community if you are not participating, if you are lukewarm? So they don't sit down again. No matter how clever they can do it, they still do it. So that at the end of the day, when the government is there, you can now ask the governor, look, you promised all this and this. Can you please make sure you deliver? So Afenifere relevance has dwindled drastically for election purposes.
Almost to the point of insignificance?
They are significant.
They still are significant.
Voice. In terms of voice. In terms of pedigree. People who are older can still relate to them. But the younger people now may not remember them.
And that's an important point you've just hit. When you look at the trajectory of politics, the dynamics of it, arguably it is shifting. I don't want to say it has shifted. It is shifting to the younger people. I hesitate to use the word youth. The younger people who, for some reason, seem to have woken up. Well, not for some reason. I think it is well known. Things are not quite what APC promised back in the day. And somehow the younger people have said that, you know what, we've been sleeping, so to speak, and let's get active. So there's this whole drive nowadays to get the PVC and everybody become involved. And the idea is that with the numbers that they've always had but have not used, this time they can deploy it effectively. In that regard, everybody knows that Labour Party's Obi he's quite visible in that regard. And so is this going to play into it significantly when it comes to all of these candidates, including Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, making their pitch for votes in the Southwest? Of course, the Southwest alone is not going to be enough to make anybody president, but is it going to be significant?
Southwest will be very, very significant for anybody who wants to win in this election, because the Northwest have 21 million registered voters. The next is the Southwest with about 17 million. So if any clever politician can now relate to those votes and get even half of 17 million, it's going to give you a lot of advantage all over Nigeria. So it's a critical portion of these votes, and we are lucky. The last election was very, very tight. The results were very, very close. 100,000 differences, 150,000. Oyo State was about 1,000 difference, or 2,000. Ogun State very close. So one must sit down, and the dynamics are changing. It is not going to be easy as before in the Southwest, because there are tendencies that are developed, and it is known to everybody that we cannot take some important personalities for granted. We must accommodate them. We must let them be relevant. We must make sure that they don't go to the other side. Because yes, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have an advantage in the Southwest. But you cannot, toy with the skill of Atiku Abubakar in the Southwest.
In the Southwest.
Because the wife is from the Southwest. So, and he is very, very conversant with Southwest politics. Very, very. Very, very. And unless you see his body language and see how he's walking on the ground, it's going to be a dangerous opponent.
Because I was going to say on Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, arguably not very much has been heard from him on the circuit. True, the campaign season hasn't been declared open yet, but in spite of that, politicians, have been active, been moving around. And I was going to say that, perhaps you've even heard more from Peter Obi than from Atiku Abubakar. But you just said something about underground work going on.
You need to pay your dues in politics. With the greatest respect to my brother, Peter Obi, maybe he needs another 10 years to be an active participant in any electoral process. You are working with veterans that have been on this stage for 40 years.
But he was successful in his native Anambra.
You see, Nigeria is not Anambra. Even since he left the political party, he has never won any election there. He was in PDP, they didn't win. So things have changed. And you need to pay your dues. So what people don't believe, they just think you just wake up one day, I want to be a governor, I want to be a president. Hey, it doesn't work out that way. It's like you are a sergeant, you want to be the Inspector General of Police, or you are a major, you want to be a major general.
In terms of duration of service.
Yes, you must learn the ropes. It is a skillful thing. It is not, it may not be you, but somebody behind you must have that pedigree, must have that training, must know where the votes are. The votes is not on television. Votes are not on social media. Votes is in the room. It's in the houses. Who can tap them and bring them out to vote? Who do they know? Who can they relate to? What has he done? You know, in America, there's what you call community service.
Yes.
You must have done something in the community. Go back to your community and be known there. Be an errand boy. Do some schemes, do some projects, programs there, so that when they mention your name in your community, they relate you to something. But where that doesn't exist, it's difficult.
So it's not just money alone.
Yes, no.
It's not just money alone from what you're saying. There is also the understudy part, the service part, and you're saying that none of this can be done in a jiffy. No. It takes time. In this respect, Bola Tinubu probably has an advantage, doesn't he? Staying on the narrow explanation, definition that you are offering here, Tinubu has been maybe even before anybody was even aware that he had presidential ambitions, he's been working on the ground. Is that the kind of thing you're saying? That
yes.
It takes a time. It takes a long time. When you said Obi needs at least 10 years
yes.
To come to where you think he will begin to be relevant.
He's a prosperous person, but he's a man for the future. Yes, he will try now.
He wants it now. He wants it now.
It's not easy. It is not the way you look at it that you win an election like that. No. How much investment has he gone into politics? How many persons has he developed in any part of Nigeria? You are talking about an Atiku person. Atiku was in the customs, and almost everybody in the north went through his tutelage with Yar'Adua. He also went through tutelage with Yar'Adua. You know, the PDM, you know, structure, which Bola Tinubu also belonged to. Mm-hmm. So,
which,
PDM, we are all members.
Okay.
Hardly can you see any politician in Nigeria today.
PDM is progressive?
Progressive, I'll get it. But we call it PDM.
PDM has become like the name.
Yeah, yes. That is,
Tinubu was also part of that same structure.
All of us.
Okay.
All of us.
Even from varying parties, you form...
Whoever developed politically in Nigeria, mm-hmm. it is probable that you'll be part of that group.
Okay.
That is Yar'Adua structure,
okay.
which was excellent. You know, a master in politics that was giving money to every ward in Nigeria to hold meetings every month. That was the type of structure he built. To the extent that when he came,
to Lagos, was part of that.
Yes, Bola Tinubu was also part. When he came to Lagos for primary, he defeated everybody in Lagos State because of that structure. You know, politics is an investment. It needs a lot of time to develop so that you can have, people believe the structure we are talking about is, you know, you don't have a structure, people will come out and vote. Fine, in the urban area. In the non-urban area, people will go to farm, and one village is here,
and that's where
another village is here.
And that's where you have many more people than in the urban areas.
Yes.
1 second, sir, because Mr. George has called in, indeed has been waiting for a while. Good morning to you, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to the elder statesman there.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, I have no doubts in my mind that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will sweep the Southwest. Why do I have that confidence? I have been within this Southwest for close to 45 years. I hope you are hearing me, sir.
Please continue.
Yes. So, and I can see the work this man has been doing in the region. The Honorable Minister there has already highlighted some of the things that he did, ranging from the time of Awolowo. Awolowo brought education to the Yoruba race. And after him, it was Tinubu that came to develop what has come out of the educated Yoruba man. He brought leaders. I have traveled, or I do business around the whole Southwest states. And I have come to know that there is no elite in the Southwest that did not go through the tutelage of Tinubu. And this is the first time that he himself is going to be on the national ballot. I have the confidence and belief from what the feelers I get from here and there that the Yoruba people will want to show him their appreciation with this opportunity, not just because he has been of value to them, but because they know his capacity and his vision. He's been preparing for this job for close to 40 years. I've been following him for about 30 years. And I know that the trend of his actions is about bringing to bear at the national level the integrity and ability God has given to him. So I believe that whether Afenifere or no Afenifere, he is going to sweep the Southwest. I want to ask the elder statesman there, sir. I know that there is a group called Afenifere Renewal Group. But they seem to sound a little different from the original Afenifere in terms of philosophy and drive. What is the difference between them? They do not have any issue with Tinubu, but the elder ones seem to have issue with Tinubu. What is the difference and how do you see it?
Okay, then. Thank you very much, Mr. George, for calling in, and in particular for that question. ARG, Afenifere Renewal Group, and as the main Afenifere.
There is no difference. It's only, age. The younger ones, led by the late Shibola Ige, when there was a fraction within the Afenifere group, and he didn't get the support of the main Afenifere to be the presidential candidate of AD. He was very upset.
AD evolved from Afenifere.
Yes.
Yes.
He was very, very upset because of his contribution. And he didn't believe that he could be defeated in that primary. To the extent that they asked him, give us the names of your delegates. He gave them, but he traveled. Before he came back, they've already chosen Falaye. It got him so upset that he couldn't believe people, because he was the deputy to Papa Adeseye, that his people could do that to him. So that at that time, there was a crack in Afenifere group. So they now form the younger one, Odubake, Jimmy Agbaje, and all these people. They've got together and formed the renewal group. They were all very formidable, but they were not a political party. And they didn't have a platform other than AD. So cleverly, what Bola Tinubu did was to abandon AD for them, form AC, form ACN, form APC. And he didn't carry them along cleverly. So if anybody wants to lay claim, it's better they lay claim to AD, not to AC, not to ACN, not to APC.
I hear you, sir. UCHE in ABEOKUTA, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Yore.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, my senator.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. My name is UCHE. I'm calling from ABEOKUTA in Ogun State. This from what the antecedent of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has a track record in Lagos State from 1999. But I still remember that from 1999 till date, there has been this Christian-Muslim dichotomy. When Ahmed Tinubu was there, he was a Muslim, and his deputy was
he is a Muslim.
Yes,
Not was.
He is a Muslim. He is a Muslim, and his deputy was also a Christian. Even the one that is now Shawolu, he is a Christian. His deputy a Muslim. Now coming to the larger society now, I am now telling us that there is no need that a Muslim can go. I don't understand it. If we cannot do it in Lagos, something they cannot do in Lagos, he now wants to now bring it in the larger society where he knows that Christianity and Muslim, we have some issues. That is why I don't understand. I am now giving reference to 1993 in Nigeria of today. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh, okay, thank you for calling in, UCHE. Appreciate your call, calling in from ABEOKUTA in Ogun State. I suppose the question was inevitable when we're talking about the subject matter here today. How would you respond? Because there have been responses in the past to this whole issue that, look, it's about the capability, not about the personal, private matter of faith. But how would you respond, sir?
So it's something that it's inevitable. And we talked about this, before it happened. We knew it would happen. But what do you think we can do? We check the figures. What is the voting pattern between the 19 states in the north and the state in the south, we discovered that the majority of votes will come from Muslim north. No doubt at all. Okay, if you want to win an election, what do? Do you go for the figures or you go for faith? Because it is just something we have to live with.
Well, about that faith part, Tinubu is already a Muslim.
Yes.
But the question centers on should he then have a Muslim as well? His Islam, the fact that he's a Muslim, shouldn't it be enough for the Muslim North, as you referred to them just now? Does he need to have in tow another a Muslim high-ranking member?
Which one is more difficult to swallow? The figure that you will get from Muslim North, or the praises you will get from a Muslim Christian? 19 governors from the north conceded power to the south. I cannot believe it happened in Nigeria. We grew up knowing fully well, this thing that happened, I never believed it could ever happen, ever. Because the power of the north, the configuration of Nigerian structure, deliberately favors the north. The number of local government we have deliberately favors the north. The figure, whether we like it or not, favor them. And they now say, okay, South, take the presidency. Give us the vice. Are you telling me that the 19 of them, only of them 2 were Christians? You will not listen to the 17 and listen to the 2. You will shoot yourself on the foot.
So these are some of the hard choices.
Facts. Yes, you have to be...
Hard facts and also hard decisions that need to be made.
But if you want to win an election,
yes,
then what now? We have 5 structure. The president, the vice, the Senate president, the speaker, the chief judge of the federation, the secretary of the government, the chief of staff. That is what we should be negotiating now, which are non-elective, which doesn't, lie with majority or figure. So the Christian Association can see that, okay, you've taken the first 2. The third, which is Senate president and the speaker, we want it. Let us work it out so that there can be a balance in the structure of government. In fact, it is a deficit to be the vice president in Nigeria. Okay. That is not what the Christians should fight for.
Okay.
They should fight for the Senate president. They should fight for the speaker. It is more influential in the structure of the federal government we run than the vice president.
Okay, so that's the pragmatic
yes,
way.
That is what they should now sit down to discuss.
Okay, Mr. Yakub in DOPEMU, good morning. Apologies for keeping you waiting, but I think you will understand. Please go ahead now.
Anyway, the apology accepted, but you are going to send me 10,000 cards. Chief Yori, good morning.
Good morning.
And the other statement, good morning, sir.
Thank you.
I don't have doubt in my mind. I think I go with Mr. George. But let me just add my own personal opinion, right? And then I give you kudos, Chief Yori, because this is only TV station that gives us right to speak our mind. And then I would like to give you that thumb up. But after saying that, Chief Yori, I told some of my friends before Ashwad Bola Tinubu pick his running mate that if Ashwad Bola Tinubu made a great mistake and went to the call not to go and pick a Christian person, I will tell you that it lost the election before the day of the election. But if he dare make it right and pick Muslim person from the north, yes, it's good to go. Without now looking down to a Christian fellow, because in my family, it is a 50-50 in my own family as well. We have Christian. The first daughter of family is a Christian. The second is a Muslim. The third is a Christian. It is a mix-up in my own personal family. But and then since then we have been living together. Chief Yori, I want to put this question to Nigeria or to anybody that this show this morning. I want them to pick one political dictator in this country that is religious tolerance, like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why am I saying that? Even me personally, I cannot do it. This is a person that married someone for over 40 years, and then it does not change that person to become a Muslim. As a wife, who is that person as a Muslim that can do that in this country? Even me, I use myself as an example. I would never tolerate that. But Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu tolerates his wife, leaving his wife to do whatever he likes in terms of religion. And then having said that, Chief Yori, the North, you see, the other statement have said it all. If Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu pick Christians from the North, I think the card that they were playing, it is opposition card they were playing. They were praying from morning till night that Asiwaju should make that mistake to go and pick somebody, a Christian from the North, so that they can be able to sweep every elector, every voter from that. But he knocked them at the right place, and then he picked the right person. Even said, look at the caliber of that vice president that is about to come in 2023, in person of Kashim Shettima. This is a genius person. And then the other statement I said, the Senate president is there. The Speaker House of Assembly, House of Rep is there. So my Christian fellow should negotiate that. In fact, I don't have that in my mind. This Christian is going to be the Senate president. I don't doubt about it.
Maybe, I think the story has been told, but we'll talk about that some other time, how you went from one of the, a critic, shall we say, of Tinubu to right now, seeing eye to eye with him and indeed promoting, his endeavor. But you analyzed for us when UCHE in ABEOKUTA brought up the question of religion. You analyzed for us what the pragmatic situation was. Now, it struck me that is there a parallel to that logic with the situation in PDP, for instance, with Governor WIKE feeling very, very bad about what happened and happened to him in the PDP primaries, such that, he has since then, people have seen him as really, some have said that the conditions he is laying to be appeased are a bit tough. Again, from your analysis, perhaps people can see Tinubu's reason in going Muslim, choosing a Muslim running mate. Could you also say the same, looking at the figures in Port Harcourt, for instance, with Governor WIKE in not being chosen by Atiku Abubakar?
Well, we are analysts. In the last election in Rivers State, APC scored 150,710, 150,710. PDP scored 473,971. In Delta, APC scored 221,292. PDP scored 594,068. So if you talk about voting strength for PDP, Delta is at advantage. So it was a better choice in terms of voting strength.
Even though WIKE was saying that he actually, his own variant in his party of Emilokon, having invested,
you look at
having
figures,
done a lot of things.
You look at figures. What have been your performance? When we are talking about the brilliant man that is the vice presidential candidate of it, he had first-class degree. He went to University of Ibadan. So he's part of us. When somebody attended to your university, and you are thinking it's not part of you, and he recorded 800,000 votes in Borno. So he's coming back with about 1.5 million votes. And when you add Yobe will come with 1.5 billion. That is the strength of APC. And nobody should worry. It is not a Muslim ticket. It is a Muslim, Christian, Muslim.
Where did you get the Christian you put in the middle?
He's the wife of Bola Tinubu now.
Okay.
He has a church in our room, in our house,
And
where we all attend churches there.
And she's an ordained pastor.
She's an ordained pastor. So when Bola Tinubu is preaching the Quran, the wife will be preaching the Bible. So what is our problem?
It's one God.
It's one God.
Okay.
It is Muslim, Christian, Muslim ticket.
KESAANDU, thank you for holding on. KESAANDU in OWERRI.
Uncle Yori, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to your guest. Came for KESAANDU, yes.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, you see, you must not allow sentiments be clouded a sense of reasoning and judgment. Nobody is more Nigerian than another. And everything we're doing as regards the 2023 election is for the unity, peace, and progress of this nation. In Nigerian constitution, the office of the First Lady has never been recognized and will never be recognized. So there is nothing like Muslim, Christian, Muslim. It is a Muslim ticket, sir. The truth about it is that a whole lot of agitations are happening in this country. No matter how we try to keep a blind eye towards it, it is happening. Nothing could have stopped the APC from having a Muslim Christian ticket like the PDP has done. But I want to talk about the Southwest we're talking about. That we're even enjoying some of these things we're enjoying today. The Southeast, we have played a key role in the development and peace of this country. But nobody wants to consider us in the scheme of things. It is unfortunate that APC and PDP did not consider the Southeast. I want to say something, that the Southwest, even today, became the president of this country. Didn't the Southeast play a vital role then in 1999? So what is stopping the Southwest in looking at their brothers that actually helped them in clinching the number one position in this country to say, let us support you? Let me tell you, it is even about the Southeast. Even the Southeast are projecting, or we have even entire country, not even everybody has seen it. It is not even a regional thing. But if it comes to region, it is only simple and right that Nigerians consider a president of Nigeria from the Southeast extraction. And now we have given Nigerians a credible option that can bring back this country to work. So I urge my brothers from the Southwest, if you believe in justice, equity, and fairness, if you believe in the unity of this country, if you believe in progress and unity of this country, please, you need to support us. That is just the gospel truth. Because the way we're doing this whole thing, there's a Muslim ticket, everybody's claiming that it means nothing. It means something. In the present day Nigeria, we are divided along ethnicity and this, but we don't want it. We are projecting somebody that can actually bring Nigeria together, somebody that can actually say that I am Nigerian first, somebody that can actually, his emergence will stop the agitation of a vote. Let the entire country at this time of our life be useful and obedient. This is the way to go. And I urge my brother from the Southwest to support us. This is the time that we need to get some of these things done right. Let every Nigerian be obedient. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling in KESAANDU with that particular perspective. Now, I wonder how you would relate to that. Just as you've explained that you did not think it was possible that 19 governors would concede and say, let it go to the South. In that same way, KESAANDU seems to be saying, look, these are a matter of concessions and based on understandings. And in his case, I think he's even throwing in equity and justice into the mix. What would be your response? What would be your response in that regard?
Well, my brother, you have to be realistic. We are friends of Igbos. I myself have been the greatest advocate of Igbo politics in Lagos State. Nobody can write me off. I started the struggle for Igbo participation in Lagos politics when I was the chairman of Network. And it is on record. We picked Igbos to run for election under UNCP. And they won. We have been standing by them. But, you know, let these people of the Southeast don't play the card they are playing now because of the future. Things are like this. What do we do to mend fences? Okay, give us the speaker for now. Give us the Senate president for now. Let us now plan for the future. In the Southwest, we don't understand Muslim, or Christian. We are the same.
Okay.
I can see their own idea of a Muslim. In the Southwest, there is nothing like that. Half of my family, we are Muslim. I slaughter ram. During Ileya, I eat. In the Southwest, there is nothing like that. So don't preach that one.
Even though you're
in the
not a
Southwest.
Christian.
My mother was a Muslim.
Okay.
We grew up fasting in Okwawo. I grew up in central Lagos. I was born there. There was no difference. It's only the Ahmadiyya people who came and brought education and brought everything. Then the Asabidi people came. So we don't understand all these things. But I can sympathize with other zones because they are critical of religion. In the Southwest, it doesn't mean anything to us. We are more traditionalist than Christian and Muslim in Southwest.
That is
if you are a native and you don't belong to a certain cult, you are not part of us.
Mr. ODUNSI in IKEJA, good morning and thank you for holding on.
Yes. Good morning, Konkuyori.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I want to commend you for your... I want to thank you for... Hello?
I can hear you, but please continue.
Okay, all right, good. I want to thank you for this program, which has been very educative for However, I'm old enough to know events in this country, but please, the gentleman, honorable minister who's talking there, is not quite correct about the ARG vis-a-vis Afenifere body.
Okay.
Even though
the Afenifere Renewal Group, you think?
Renewal Group.
Okay. You think?
Afenifere Renewal Group came up as a result of the inability of the elderly one to settle their differences. I have made several attempts.
Well, thank God you got that central point out. But I don't think it is entirely at variance with what you said, because he has just said before we lost that call that the elders, which you explained, that is what Afenifere was all about, and the younger ones, he says the elders were unable to settle their differences. Would you have added that if you had thought about it at the time? That's the essence of the...
I gave a reason why the elders could not settle. Because Shibola Ige felt betrayed. And he was the second in command to Papa Adeseye. And because of that, it was difficult to manage him. And that was the beginning of the crisis.
Okay. Okay.
So he was an eloquent person. He's a believer in the youth more than the other group. And they were able to relate more with him. And he was in support of the renewal group. All these things, if somebody else is talking, maybe I was a senator at that time. So I was part of the inner circle. And I knew what went wrong. It was a very difficult situation to manage.
I see. Okay. Michael in Sango, Ogun State. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for this wonderful program.
Thank you, sir.
And also, I think we should not discuss, when we are discussing about this APC ticket, we should know that we are discussing about South-North ticket, not Muslim ticket. Sure, people are saying that diversity. When you are talking about diversity, we are talking about the region, the religion, the gender base, and something. And again, not all the presidential tickets from all parties fulfill the principle of diversity. And also, I don't know when good governance is based on faith. In 1999, we have Christian-Muslim. What did we Christians enjoy when we have a Christian president? Also in 2011, when the killing of the Christians started during Jonathan regime, what the Jonathan did, especially for Christians, and now we're having Muslim Christians. What did our Christian VP did for us, especially? So good governance is not based
interrupt you.
on
I regret interrupting you, but just to say that we're cutting away, as we did yesterday, for a live coverage in Port Harcourt. But viewers in the diaspora and outside of Nigeria will be able to continue to hear us, as well as those who have one kind giant dish like that. So just to say that, I think we must have also lost Michael. Okay, so, you know, that's that, just to let you know that we've sort of cut away. Interesting, the way Michael put it, that, look, people are talking about a Muslim ticket. He says he would just see it as a north-south ticket, which is perhaps pragmatic, which is what you were explaining, and some people also accept that when you become analytical on the matter, when you look at the figures, when you look at all of that, there was hardly any other way to go, since it's not about sentiment, it's about winning elections, than the way APC and Tinubu, with the prerogative to make his choice, did.
Kashim Imam. Kashim, where all these people, Shetima. Kashim Imam went to King's College, right? The former Shanusi went to King's College. You know,
the former Emir.
What the vice presidential candidate of APC should start to do, please come to Lagos every Sunday, go to churches, talk to them there that you are part of us. You know, Christians don't have this, you know, fixed, you know, mind on religion. Once you enter the church and you talk, they will think you are part of them. Come. Tell them that, you know, because being a Muslim does not mean that I cannot be part of you in the church. Donate money to them. You know, they do tithe. Give them tithe. Between the next 6 months, they will forget.
That's something of a controversial statement, if I ever heard one.
No. Be part of them.
Okay.
You know, in politics, they must see that their fear is not justified.
Okay.
When you worship with them, you go to the altar and they pray for you, and then you talk to them. Look, I'm a Muslim, but I'm here to worship with you.
Let me bring Mazi Okorafor in. Mazi Okorafor is calling in from AROCHUKWU. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Honorable Senator, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You see, Honorable Senator, you see, Nigeria, the way we reason and the way we, the way of perception is the problem. Nothing like whether Muslim or Christian. What a voter's card does not read whether it's a Muslim or a Christian. The question is your own conscience. Who is ready to deliver? Who is that is accommodating? I've been saying, I've seen repeating a time without number. I've never seen any governor in this country. Someone will tell me, I just want to say that the cabinet, Muslim, Christian, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, even other tribes inside the cabinet. I challenge any governor in this country, right from the time we started democracy, and show me which state governor has done that. That is issue. Because a situation whereby we have come to stay as a country, we should be talking about how to move forward. That is why I like Uyiboma way of thinking. Uyiboma is not a statement about their religion. What is statement? Are you ready to deliver? Are you ready to give people what they want? Are you ready to make sure that what you have sworn at, this is what I'll do, that's what they're going to do? That is what we'll be talking about. Our level of education is the problem, because illiteracy is the highest the number of illiteracy. That is why Nigeria is talking. What has religion? The religion, when you go to the market to buy something, does it say that this is a Christian, this is a Muslim? No. Nigeria money does it is Muslim or Christian, no. If you go to the restaurant to eat food, to eat rather amala, ako, or egusi, or ofoha, or anything, does it read also a Muslim or religion? No. The question is, our conscience, Nigeria should think positively and think about the Jagaban from 2023, because we need people that will carry us to the promised land, people that are ready to deliver, not people that are. Look for people that have a job, not people that are just jobbers. Thank you very much. Honorable Senator, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafor, for calling in with that perspective. You know, since we started this conversation about what the 2023 general election with the Southwest in focus portends, what the issues are, what the dynamics are, the Senator has been very helpful in helping us to analyze it. And you've explained that of the main contenders, arguable use of terminology, because some other parties might say, look, what do you mean main contenders? We're here too. But you're looking at Obi, you're looking at Abubakar, you're looking at Tinubu, and you've just been pointing out that it's not a walk in the park if you're going to ask the people of the Southwest for their votes. You need to have started. And with that analysis, you've explained that you have an issue with one of them or so. But Atiku, you've said, you know, yeah, his qualification is what it is. Tinubu, his qualification is what it is. Somebody even said he's been following for, you know, 30 of the 40 years that he's been active in politics. So this conversation in relation to 2023 general election Southwest focus and dynamics, it's swung even up to, you know, the religious issue. Tinubu seems to be, from what you have said, you know, sitting pretty by way of credentials because he's invested in this. And you said that's a very, very important part of it all.
You see, we need to work harder. There's no assumption in politics anymore. We cannot be too sure unless we start to do the work. You
can't take things for granted.
Yes.
So it's not a matter of your being an indigene of Southwest.
No.
That's not it.
The people that will matter in the Southwest must be part of you. Because on the day of the election, you will not be on the site. You will not be there.
And they will only be part of you because you've wooed them. Even when you went on the ticket.
Yes.
You
have
were
to
wooing
visit them. Particularly the traditional institutions.
You've explained that.
You know, like in Ogun State, you know, the Remo people, how many are there? They have over maybe 40, 60 villages. Then the Jebu people have about 40, 50 villages. They are in their hamlets. Somebody must go to them. Somebody must talk to them.
You can't just rely on communication,
they
mass
don't
communication.
have access to television. They don't listen to radio. They don't know about social media. But they know about their Oba. They know about their church. They know about their mosque. They know about their Bale. Who they would ask, Bale, where are we going tomorrow? So it is what the Bale says, or the pastor, or the imam, or the leader in that community that will determine who they vote for. They don't vote because at the end of the day, the voting will go.
Okay.
They will stay in that community to relate with that leadership.
Senator, we've got to leave it here. And I want to thank you very much for coming on. Senator Adeseye Ogunlewe, former Minister of Works, a lawyer, an APC chieftain, and a strong supporter of the ambition of Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2023 elections. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Indeed. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.